had the opportunity to use it, and it's been, and I haven't probably even scratched the surface of how to use it even more effectively, but I've used it like doing like a Mother's Day campaign, and I've had some clients call me and go, my son didn't even send me a card. I really appreciate it. So I feel sorry for their son. But it's really helped me connect with some different clients. So that's great.
Yes, Welch with Send Out Cards. Thanks for having me today. I'm definitely not shy, but I brought a couple of videos because Send Out Cards is very visual. As you can see, I brought out some samples today. How Kim and I actually found Send Out Cards was she got very ill with ulcerative colitis. Was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. She was working with Northwestern Mutual at the time. And actually with today's Facebook and texting and everything, people sometimes just don't send cards. She got a card, someone mailed her a card at the hospital. And it was from Send Out Cards, and she opened it up, and it was very unique, had their picture, their handwriting in it. And she had to walk away from her career because of her illness. And Send Out Cards is a direct sales, home-based business, and so the light bulb went on, and she just connected with it. And what we really connected with Send Out Cards is just the reaching out and kindness. Send Out Cards is all about, if you really think about it, a card is just a hug with a fold in it. You know, when you send out a card, you're sending out, you know, really niceness, you know. And so anyway, that's what really attracted us. It was a very unique product. So Bob, why don't you hit the lights, and I'll show you just a little overview on Send Out Cards and how it works, and then I'll be right back.
We'd love to send cards and gifts to everyone, but we're on a budget and we just can't afford it. And add to that the time it takes.
It just doesn't get done.
I have lots of customers. How am I supposed to stay in touch with all of them?
A card? Like a real paper card? Let's go with me.
When do I have time to run to the store, pick out a card, fill it out, address it, stamp it, run it to the post office?
We don't want to be forgetful grandparents.
We want to be heroes.
But it's not easy with all those birthdays.
Send Out Cards changed the way I do business. You'd be crazy not to use it.
Now they can send a card for a third of the cost we could before.
And we can even add a gift right from the computer.
And I can do it when I have the time. I love it.
Send Out Cards has turned me into a guy that absolutely sends out greeting cards. And it's helped me grow my business, and it's made me a total rock star with my family.
Send Out Cards has revolutionized how the world sends greeting cards and gifts. With this amazing system, you can choose from thousands of greeting cards, add a personalized message, and even a photo. You can also include a gift. And most importantly, once you click that Send Card button, Send Out Cards prints, stuffs, addresses, stamps, and takes your card to the post office the very next day. Imagine the surprise when someone you care enough about to send a card or gift opens their mailbox to discover you remembered. It all starts with that Send Card button. First, your card is printed on the highest quality printers, cut, scored, inserted into an envelope, sealed, addressed, verified, stamped, and then delivered to the post office. And best of all, it all happens within 24 hours of you clicking that Send Card button. No more driving to the store, trying to find the right card from a narrow selection, finding postage, and getting your card to the mailbox. Send Out Cards has made card sending fun and convenient right from your computer, any time of the day or night. Need to send 100 personalized thank you or birthday cards? Want to add your own photos to those cards? It's just a click away. Don't you want to be known as the thoughtful person who always remembered to say thank you or happy birthday? Send Out Cards has created a system for you to be that person through cards and gifts at a fraction of the cost you would normally spend. Send Out Cards works on a point system. You purchase points and then use them to send cards. For instance, a standard 2-panel card costs 2 points, which is 98 cents. A 2-panel card with as many pictures as you would like costs 3 points, or $1.47. Our $9.80 monthly subscription allows you to purchase points at our lowest retail price. There's no long-term commitment, and you can cancel your subscription at any time.
Make someone happy. Stay in touch. Send a card today.
Look, with the economy the way it is, you can't afford not to use Send Out Cards.
To all the other moms out there, Send Out Cards really is the best way to go.
Look, as sales professionals, we work hard to find our customers. You want to keep them? Use Send Out Cards.
I'm telling you, man, you have to try Send Out Cards. Just go send a card.
If you're like me, you don't forget. You just remember late. Send Out
Relationships in your personal life or your business, then get started right now. If you're still not convinced, Take send-out cards out for a test drive today. You're going to love the way it feels.
Alright. Well, I wanted to show you that video. That actually got us very inspired to start our business. But what I also wanted to educate you on is when you're out meeting with your clients or prospects or anybody that you think would be a good referral, I wanted to educate you on how the program worked. And it's a really fantastic program. But really the key of send out cards is being able to act out in kindness. The thank you for your business cards, the thank you for the referral cards, those cards are great. But where send out cards really stands out is being able to react on what we call a prompting to reach out in kindness. So if you have an employee that's going through a really tough time, or a customer that maybe just found out they're having a new baby, or my wife just had a friend that they're having a tough time in their marriage and can really feel the pain in her voice. Send out cards allows you to reach out in kindness, send a card in those moments that most people don't do anymore because we're all so busy. So I wanted to show you one more video that really talks about how a little small piece of paper can change somebody's life. Hey Bob, you want to hit the lights again?
Hi, I'm Kim Hunter, and this is Julie. Welcome to our home. I had a meeting with this gentleman who is the director over at one of the assisted living homes, and actually was going to go talk to him about send-out cards. And as it turned out, he said he was going to be there one of the weekends because they're open 7 days a week, assisted living home. And I said, would it be possible for me to stop by on a Saturday? He said, sure, no problem. So I came by on a Saturday, and I was not dressed up, and I had my 2 dogs with me, and I was going to leave the dogs in the car, and I mentioned this to the gentleman, and he said, oh, bring the dogs in, as long as they're well behaved. So I brought them in, we had a really good meeting, the dogs slept through it, and afterwards, as I was on my way out, I got the 2 dogs, and one of the workers there came up to me and said, hey, would you be willing to bring the dogs by to meet somebody who really loves pugs? And I said, of course. And we walked into his room, and the first thing I noticed were all of the photos of his family on the wall. And in fact, there were even photos of his dog, a pug, on the wall. And I walked in, and I took a look, and here was a man just sort of sitting in a wheelchair, kind of slumped there, watching television, not looking very happy. And he looked up, and he saw us, and he saw the dogs, and he lit up. And he's just like, where did these dogs come from, And I think it was Julie we put on his lap, and he fell in love with Julie, and then he fell in love with Bert. I could see that what a difference it made, just to be there, just to show up. And I was so mesmerized by it that I just had to take some photos of the scenario. It was beautiful. Afterwards, I sent him a card that was pretty much from the dogs to Kurt, saying it was nice to meet you. And that was sort of it. And then about a week or so passed. I come home one day, and I'm having the worst day. It was one of these days where, I'm not kidding, I walked into Starbucks to get a drink, and the lady looks at me and she says, this one's on the house. That is how pathetic I looked. So, and I came home, I was just not in a good mood, and my husband says, hey, you got a card or a letter from somebody. It looks like a child wrote to you. And I looked at it and I said, that's not a child. And I opened up the letter, and it was a beautiful letter from this man, Kurt, thanking me for visiting, telling me that he loved the card that I had sent him with the dogs. And in fact, the card was addressed not only to me, but to the dogs as well. And it was so moving to me, it actually made me cry, in a good way. I've since been going about once a week. I go take the dogs, and I take photos, I send him cards. What I loved is that there were the cards that I had sent him lined up. And he's since written me another letter. And he told me he looks at my cards every single day. I mean, it means that much to him. And I think, how simple to send a card, and that it can make that much difference in someone's life. It's making a difference. That's what it's all about. Right, little Julie? Little Julie, making a difference. Can you see mommy?
Babo. Thank you. It's amazingly powerful what a card can do, and I think again, that's what really attracted us to this company. You know, with technology can be our greatest savior or our greatest enemy. And nowadays everybody's so busy we don't reach out and do those kind of things. So what I'd like to do to encourage you all is during this week or the next 2 weeks, if you can think of an employee, a family member, somebody in your life that is going through a tough time or they're celebrating life, reach out to me. Let's send them a free card. You know, you don't have to have an account yet, but let's go through the process. And I'd like to offer that to all of you because there's an amazing thing when you hit that send button and you know that that person's going to get a card and you're going to make their day. And it's just fantastic. So please reach out to me if throughout your day somebody, and our CEO calls it prompting. He talks about you're prompted, I should do something for this person or I should reach out in kindness. Typically the card is the easiest thing to do. So I'd like to encourage you all to do that this week. And the video's kind of made it pretty self-explanatory, but I'm open to any questions regarding the seminar cards at all. Yes, Kim?
I noticed that it's $9.80 a month. Now, if you don't utilize all that money, does it carry over to the next? Oh, that's great. Okay, great.
Yeah, and most times, most people use it up in the holidays. I actually have a customer, they're doing $9.80 and they're not sending any cards throughout the year just so they have a budget for the holidays.
That's good. Okay.
Yes, Dan?
Just a testimonial. I signed up with Dave a few months back, and I'm still not 100% great with it. Need to get better. But before that, Farmers has this card program, and real generic, and just it's a postcard. It doesn't look great. I still have that running, but then I had to send out cards going too, and I never once heard anything about the postcards. And all of a sudden now I'm getting calls, oh, thank you so much for that card, that was awesome. So it's really making a big difference. So thank you.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to use it, and it's been, and I haven't probably even scratched the surface of how to use it even more effectively, but I've used it like doing like a Mother's Day campaign, and I've had some clients call me and go, my son didn't even send me a card. I really appreciate it. So I feel sorry for their son, but it's really helped me connect with some different clients. So that's great.
Yes.
I know you can send some goodies, like you wanted to send like maybe an appreciation gift. What kind of items can you include with the card? I've heard different things, brownies, but I have no clue where else you go.
There's a pretty big selection of gift cards from American Express gift cards, Starbucks. They have Toys R Us, a bunch of different cards, cheesecake, tons of little inside cards. You can send brownies, cookies, they have baby gifts like stuffed animals. It's a pretty diverse collection of gifts. You can send motivational books. At some point they're partnering up with, not Tony Robbins, but a lot of inspirational speakers. They're going to offer a bunch of those products as well. They're constantly adding to the gift. But there's a big selection.
Good, thanks.